Hey guys, Sunny here. Welcome to the, I guess, once a year video of SPYRAL Replays. I mean, I have still been playing Master though, it's just that I was playing Fire King Snake guys just to get ranked over with, so I wasn't playing much of SPYRAL. However, it was kind of boring, and also with most of the Fire King and Snake Eyes cards getting hit in the Master Duel ban list, it makes things a little bit harder to climb. And to be honest, climbing with them is not as enjoyable as climbing with Spirals. So it was only I think in last October where we had the Link Fusion Synchro event where I wasn't able to play Fire King Snake Eyes in the event, so I resorted to playing Spirals, and I kind of enjoyed playing Spiral. Yeah, playing in the event reminded me of how fun Spiral was, so I decided to climb rank with Spirals, and this is one of the matches that I have. It's a classic rank match where I'm going second against a Spright Runick player who has a pretty decent board, 2 negates, 1 back row, 1 possible hand trap, an IP and a disruptor of sorts, I guess, with Spright Elf. So of course I went for Engage Permanence to negate the Spright Carrot, that's one thing out of the way. Spright Elf is gonna reanimate the Eperia, which is gonna allow them to draw a card, so there's an extra thing I have to keep note of. Thankfully the card that the opponent drew wasn't a Maxx, if not I wouldn't be able to continue my combos and Chinese replay. So I'm gonna go for Spiral Resort, and I'm gonna use Spiral Super Agent and Core Monsters, which was correct, and I'm gonna destroy the back row, which is revealed to be Waboku. I assume this is for Tenpai matchups, but unfortunately for them, I am not playing Tenpai, I am playing Spirals. So I have my red reboot in hand to negate the Waboku, so I could actually go for game this turn. Yes, I do plan to go for game this turn, despite the kind of board my opponent is making. And the key part is because I have Illusion of Chaos, which is going to go into Magician Souls and send Mission Rescue into the graveyard. And once I have Spiral Master Plan into the graveyard with the effect of Magician Souls, I am able to win this game, but I have to beat everything my opponent has. So going back into the game, that was my game plan. So I went for Quick Fix, and IP is gonna trigger and go into SP. SP is not gonna remove any of my monsters because of Spiral Resort's protection, so it's instead gonna remove Spiral Resort on summon, which is fine. With the Link summon to Spiral Double Helix, and I'm just gonna try to get a Quick Fix to reanimate itself by discarding Mission Rescue, but my opponent revealed Runick Flashing Fire, which destroys my Double Helix. And then Runick Fountain is gonna shuffle 1 and draw 1, but this card you will never reveal what it is in the end. Using Big Red, I'm gonna bring back Double Helix once more, and I was gonna use of course Quick Fix to pitch Mission Rescue, but SP was being cheeky and banished my Double Helix, which is still fine by the way. So Quick Fix is gonna be sent onto the field, and Spright Red is gonna negate and destroy the Quick Fix. Again, still fine, because finally I get to use my Illusion of Chaos to bring Magician Souls up on my hand, and then send Mission Master Plan for cost, and do my Spiral. Gonna go into the Dark Charmer, which is going to allow me to get IP from my opponent's side. But of course, from there I'm gonna snowball, so it is around this point when my opponent decides that it's not worth waiting for me to combo and they decide to scoop. So yeah, board breaking with Spirals 101. Let's go into the next video. the next replay I have is also another going second video, and this is against a Cyberse power deck, and as you can see, I don't really have anything that could disrupt his plays here, so that's why I'm gonna speed this replay up a little bit. So this is just another bot breaking, trying to bot break this Cyberse end bot while I have a lot of gas, because I have quick fix, I have 1-for-1, and I have preparations of right. So there are 3 possible ways for me to start combo, I would say, or to just chug along in combo. So they do have Firewall, Dragon, Dark Fluid, whatever these two could be, Transcode, and also this fusion, this Cyberse, which can negate something, and yep, the back row. So drawing Cosmic Cyclone on my standby, on my draw phase, I am gonna activate it to just get rid of Super Factorial. Of course, he's gonna chain, which allows him to get Lethesian out, but it is totally fine because at the very least that he is just gonna be using the effect to just send a random card from my hand to the graveyard instead of doing a bunch of other stuff. So fortunately for me, the card that he sent was Mission Rescue, which to be fair is the odds are pretty high because it's 2 out of 5 cards, so that's a 40% chance of him sending the card to the graveyard. So you know, this benefits me a lot more. So I decided to go with Quick Fix. He's gonna negate that, that's fine. Because I could link off Quick Fix into Link to Revoke. But before I do that, I wanted to bait the Cyberse monster in the graveyard, so I went for Preparation of Rites. He's gonna negate that, which is fine. So now I go Link to Revoke, use Mission Rescue to bring Quick Fix back, and then he's gonna activate his Firewall Dragon Dark Fleet to send any Master Pack Pit, which has a very interesting effect of doing what Fire King or Fire King decks do, and just put my monster onto the Spare and Trap Zone. But I'm playing Spiral, so putting into the Spare and Trap Zone is fine because I could just go for 1-for-1 and bring Magician Souls and send my Fix back into the graveyard and draw 2. And from there is pretty much game because they do not have any more things that could stop my Spirals from doing Spiral things. I'm gonna go into Barricade Zone because they do not have any dark monsters in their graveyard, so I did not go into the Dark Charmer. From here onwards, it's just Spiral going full gas. And since they do not have, I've summoned more than 5 times, and as you can see, my opponent hasn't done anything yet. So he doesn't have Reveal in his hand. It's pretty much game from here. So look at the access code and just destroy everything. And I think at this point he starts to switch. So yeah, it's another bot breaking video because going second, getting a comeback, that's pretty clutch. Let's go on to the next replay. Now I have this replay for you, and this is going to be very hilarious and probably long drawn. My opponent activates Time Parry Morganite, which doesn't sound good because that would mean that the Maxx in my hand is kind of useless, and as you can see, my hand is pretty awful. So he went into Babushka and he ended his turn with 1 back row and the decisive battle. Cosmic Cyclone removed the Super Poly, and then I went into Magician Souls. And I tried to go into SP tonight here by linking off by trying to remove the booster, but because of SP's effect not being able to attack directly, I just end my turn with anti-spell fragrance. And that's when he has his barrier statue of the drop, which is totally fine because Spyrals have some earth monsters, especially Quick Fix and Double Helix and also Super Agent. So I removed the anti-spell fragrance because I needed to use one for one. And then I summoned Quick Fix, and seeing that I can't really do much in this scenario, I am just going to equip Last Resort onto Quick Fix to fend off his onslaught of attacks. He's gonna keep drawing cards, but I don't know, but as you can see, he is somehow not able to stop my Quick Fix. So, and then he also activates Microcosmos. Fantastic. But you know, I thought, and oh yes, he has Necro Valley as well, so you know, I am stunned from multiple places, but that is totally fine. Quick Fix is still standing here strong, and I draw one card every time during my draw phase versus him drawing two cards every time during his draw phase. And the fact that he sets his back row to be filled, it meant that he can't really do much to me at this current point in time. He tries to go for Super Poly, but it couldn't work against me somehow. I get his intention. He was trying to probably like Super Poly off my Quick Fix, but there are probably some stipulations that prevent it because it has to be same type and attribute but different names, and there is no Earth machine there for him to fuse on or something. I don't know, I don't really care, because I was like, you know, I'm just gonna hold on and see how long he could last, or whether will he be drawing out his entire deck. I tried to activate this, it doesn't matter because Necro Valley is gonna negate it. And at this point, yes, I do have card destruction in my hand because I was trying to use this against like people who are trying to max me, and there is gonna be a replay later on which will show the use of this. But yeah, basically he couldn't deal with Quick Fix plus Last Resort, so that's why he scooped. Anyways, next replay. This is a replay where the card destruction came into play, but it's not the maxi deck that you kind of expect, because I used card destruction I think during the main phase 2, so it wasn't something that was done during the main phase 1. So anyways, of course, as you can see, my opponent's playing a Pendulum deck and he negated my only hand trap, so we see him pop off with all his monsters and go into an okay, I guess I would say it's an okay-ish end board, because I don't know, I thought that he could use could have a much more powerful end board than what he did. But you know, it's also difficult for me because Master Plan can't do anything, and so it goes into IP, one of the monsters in this board, and also this Apollousa, as well as All Eyes Vortex Dragon, and 3 cards in his hand. And me drawing Quick Fix wasn't that good, because if I could resolve machine duplication, I would rather have this Quick Fix in my deck. But it's okay. So Quick Fix got negated by Apollousa, that's totally fine. Machine duplication got negated by the Vortex Dragon. So I guess, so at this point of time, my only way to continue with is to use card destruction, which is also risky, but I tried to do it anyways. Use triple tactics talent in and get IP Masquerader, and with that I went to the Dark Charmer, and that's when my opponent drew his Maxx. See, that's why card destruction doesn't pay dividends in there, but then I decided I'll just go into battle and use his user. And on main 2, I am reviving the Bestial. Oddly enough, I do have a dragon in my deck. I can't remember what was the dragon, but I do have a dragon. But yeah, anyways, the Ash was negated. That's not a big deal. The main thing is that I'm able to go into my Celine with my Master Plan, go into Barricade Door, and from there, seeing my opponent has 19 cards in his deck after doing all that stuff, I was like, okay fine, I think I'll just go for the Maxx challenge and try to deck him up. Scout the opponent's deck, review to be a Maxx, destroy the monster with double helix. Correctly scouted another monster with Master Plan, and yeah. The reason why I thought of going for the Maxx challenge was because I had two quick fixes in my hand, and of course I had used card destruction, so both the quick fixes were in my graveyard. So having two quick fixes is enough for me to like just do a bunch of revival shenanigans. I was able to go into Alchemisa in case they have a review, but I think after the duel ended, I checked my opponent's deck and I found that he did not have a review. Yeah, I haven't even used Magician Souls yet, which is crazy. So I'm just really a lot of gas. Yeah. So yeah, you do not want to Maxx Spyral if they have the right tools. Now this replay and the next replay is gonna be from the November event, the Link and Excease festival, I think. So Spyral being Spyral, they play mostly Link and Excease. So again, this was totally fine. I played mostly the same deck I played in ranked, without Curious, without Summon Limit, without Anti-Spell Fragrance and all that jazz. But yeah, so the event was alright, pretty enjoyable. Yeah, it was one of the events that was played in November, other than the 0 extra deck events. So of course my opponent's being Exosisters with one back row and Magnifica. I wanted to bait Magnifica with my first Spiral result, which I did, and then I go for Preparation of Wax to get Illusion of Chaos to go into Magician Souls and to send Spiral Master Plan into the graveyard. So at this point, his Exosisters Michaelis comes out, so I decided to pitch my Mission Rescue into the graveyard so I could actually like dodge Michaelis banishing my Master Plan. Unfortunately, his back row was revealed to be Exosisters Armament, which caused his like one of his Exosisters to be accessed into Exofield, which prevents the activation of things from my graveyard. So because of that, I thought to myself I needed to manipulate the top of his deck, so I went for Spiral Neo Drones to manipulate the top deck, and then I go for Levelers Assembled Item Hero to attack directly and go into Zeus doing main 2 to just wipe out the entire board. So with the top deck manipulated, he is not going to have anything good, and because of this, the game just ends. So this next replay is not from the Link and Excease festival that was happening in November, but it's from the 0 extra deck festival that happened later on. Because I am pretty stubborn and I thought, hey, let's just try a 0 extra deck Spyral, just because. And this is a pretty hilarious replay I had. So my opponent set 2 and pass, just bought Magician Souls, manipulate the top deck, and I see that they're playing one of the decks that was available for Sam to use, which is I think the Millennium, the Silent Swordsman, the Sarcophagus, whatever deck. Yeah, it's the one when Yugi used the ceremonial build. So yeah, I equipped Last Resort onto Super Agent, and basically this is my board. So he tries to attack my Spiral Gauge ones, which I'm just gonna keep the attack buff into Super Agent. I drew into Spiral Sleeper, which is not that useful in this scenario because I've already equipped Last Resort to my Super Agent, and the fact that my Spiral Resort is not around to shuffle stuff in from the graveyard. So I use Magician Souls to try to use as a draw engine to draw more cards. And as you can see, my opponent's Silent Swordsman is getting extremely bulky. So at this point, I decided, okay, I need to get my Spiral Resort up and running. So I purposely have Master Plan destroyed. And then Spiral Super Agent is able to hit directly thanks to the effect of Last Resort. With Spiral Resort in play, I'm able to get some of my Spiral cards, and I tried to destroy the Silent Swordsman with Spiral Tough, but that doesn't work. In hindsight, doing nothing is much better in this scenario. So I ended my turn like this, and my opponent, I think he sets one, and he has a 4000 attack Silent Swordsman. I try to buff up Super Agent's attack a little bit to reduce the life point damage. And I use my Spiral Resort to draw to get this card, Spiral Double Agent, which is a pretty new Spiral card, and because it has the stipulation that all Spiral monsters in the field gain 500 attack and Spiral Super Agents can attack directly. Given that I've buffed up my Super Agent a fair bit during this whole duel, and Spiral Tough is also become Spiral Super Agent on the field, my opponent having 5600 life points, so I could just go directly and win this turn. He tries to call by, he fails because I have Mission Rescue. Buff up the attack, put Double Agent on the field, and then just go for game. Pretty hilarious stuff. I do have one more replay, and this one is also pretty funny. So remember how I said earlier there is a video I had that involved using card destruction? This is the one. So I'm going first against a deck that later I found is an illusion deck. So all this while, like when I was summoning my Magician Souls and everything, he didn't use his Maxx. It was only then when I used 1-for-1, I tried to call by his Ash, then he uses his Maxx. So okay, that's pretty smart. So now I guess I have to play the Maxx challenge. Since I have card destruction in hand, all I needed to do is make sure he has about like 20 cards in hand, and then I can just card destruction everything and go for game. So because he has went for his Ash Blossom already during this turn, this means that he can't Ash anything that I could do, which means he can't Ash my card destruction. So as long as he doesn't have any Nibiru, or if I could negate his Nibiru, then I would resolve card destruction and just win. I later on checked his deck after the duel ended, and I found out that he did not have a Nibiru, which was funny because I do think there's a reason why he doesn't run Nibiru, because if he is playing against a Tenpai, Nibiru will not work against Tenpai. But the problem is that by not running Nibiru, you lose to other decks in scenarios where you fight other decks that aren't Tenpai. And given that we are in Diamond, we don't fight Tenpai all the time. So yeah, I went into Curious. He decides to Veiler the Curious, which is like, whatever, it's fine. Because as long as I am able to shuffle my quick fixes, so there's a point I think now he has 15 cards in his deck, and that's when I decide to cut Destruction and everything. The reason why I put Card Destruction in my deck is because I got Card Destruction before, so I thought, hey, that's a genius idea. And so I'll just put one copy of it in my Spiral deck since it's limited to one anyways. So yeah, that sums up Spiral replays for 2024, I guess, unless there is more in December. So yeah, see you when I see you.